The Mahadev book betting app row has now intensified. Prime Minister Modi has lashed out at the Congress party in his rally in Chhattisgarh. Prime Minister Modi asked the Congress party to provide details on how much money the party made of this app. This comes as Chhattisgarh is heading towards phase 2 of elections. And could this threaten to swing the elections in favor of the BJP is the big question now. As the Enforcement Directorate continues its investigation, can the Mahadev app scam bring down possibly the Congress government in Chhattisgarh? Will there be an impact in the coming days? We quickly listen in to the war of words that has taken place today, and then we take this conversation forward with our guests.
पता चला वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेता के बड़े करीबी हैं। जो गाड़ी है वो भी किसी भाजपा नेता की गाड़ी है, जो बिलासपुर के हैं, कोरबा के हैं, इस नेता की गाड़ी है। तो आदमी भी उसका भारतीय जनता पार्टी की, गाड़ी भी उन्हीं का, और पकड़ने वाले भी मतलब भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक विंग है, ईडी वो पकड़ती है।
जिस कांग्रेस को गणित सिखाने का इतना बड़ा शौक है, आज मैं इस मुंगेली में हजारों लोगों के बीच में उससे भी मैं कुछ सवाल जरूर करूंगा। ये जो छत्तीसगढ़ में महादेव सट्टेबाजी घोटाला हुआ है, उसमें 508 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक के बटने के आरोप है। कितने 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 जांच एजेंसियों के छापों में रुपयों के ढेर पकड़े गए हैं। यहां के मुख्यमंत्री के करीबी जेल में बंद है। कांग्रेस के इन गणितबाजों को बताना होगा कि मुख्यमंत्री को इसमें कितना पैसा हिस्सा मिला है, कांग्रेस के बाकी नेताओं के हिस्से में कितना माल गया है, और दिल्ली दरबार तक इसमें से कितना माल पहुंचा है।
All right, so there we heard it, the war of words between the Congress and the BJP there. Let me bring in Dr. Pooja Tripathi of the Congress into the conversation. Dr. Tripathi, firstly, I'd like to give you an opportunity to respond to what the Prime Minister has said. Big allegations have been made against the Congress party, where the PM has directly said that the Congress party has benefited from the Mahadev betting app scam. How do you respond?
Respond to Prime Minister Modi, and you wanted details of Mahadev betting scams. So through your channel, I want to give the details of what actions have been taken. In March 2022, Chhattisgarh police did a massive crackdown on people related with Mahadev betting app, leading to 450 arrests. 72 cases were registered all across Chhattisgarh, Durg, Raipur, Bilaspur, Jagdalpur, Ambikapur. There are 191 laptops, 450 mobiles and 200 ATMs were seized. Cash amounting to 1.5 crores have been seized and various immovable assets. And then 3 months later, Mr. Bhupesh Baghel, the present Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, wrote to central government to ban the app. This was in 2022. We are sitting in November 2023. On this Mahadev betting app was banned by central government on 5th November 2023, just 2 days before Chhattisgarh went into first phase of elections. Chhattisgarh police did their job. Mr. Bhupesh Baghel wrote to extradite Mr. Chandrakar and some Yusuf Kutti, who has been accused in the Mahadev betting scam. ED comes out 4 days before the first phase elections goes into the first phase. ED comes out with a press note citing Mr. Asim Datta, who has later refused from his withdrawn his statement in the court that he was being pressurized to give the statement. And ED puts it in asterisk subject to jurisdiction. You blame a sitting chief minister. You give this so grave blame you give to a sitting chief minister, and then you write subject to jurisdiction. ED brings out this press note. And the same Datta's statement that they have used, which has now been overturned in the court now, he's seen, I'll show the pictures, he's seen hobnobbing with various BJP leaders. He's actually a Bhajpa Karyakarta with Ramesh Bas, with Raman Singh, Prem Prakash Pandey. ED claims to have seized a cash that was to be used in Bhupesh Baghel's government, they claim. Campaign, and the number of that, it was a black Innova they seized with cash. It was numbered at CG12AR6300. This Innova is registered in the name of Mr. Amar Agrawal, who is the brother of a prominent Bhajpa leader from Chhattisgarh, Mr. Brij Bhushan Agrawal. So I'm saying this is so obvious. If you're saying that this would impact elections, this would definitely impact elections, because Chhattisgarh government is seeing how ED has become now the election department of Bharatiya Janata Party. ED's action, they are not raising an eye on Hemanta Biswa Sarma. They are not doing any action against Ajit Pawar. They are not doing any action against the so-called chief ministerial candidate, Mr. Raman Sharma, who has been accused of 1,000 crores NAN scam and Panama Papers. No, but they get into the scene. This has been going on from 2022. Extradition, the power of extradition is with Central Government Home Ministry. They have the powers to have an international treaty. The accused are sitting in Dubai. They didn't ban the app. Now they are accusing the sitting chief minister. And I think the way Mr. Bhupesh Baghel, this for the first time I'm seeing, I'm the media in charge for Chhattisgarh elections too. Every chief minister, every incumbent chief minister goes with a wave of anti-incumbency in politics. We have seen this. Bhupesh Baghel ji is the only chief minister which has zero anti-incumbency. His policies have a massive popularity in Chhattisgarh government. Every section of the Chhattisgarh is benefited from his pro-people policies, and this has hobnobled BJP. This has ratified BJP. They know they are losing. So they brought in their last tool, that is ED. But Chhattisgarh people they see through the double whammy. They see through the fakery of Bhajpa. They see through everything. And I'll be coming back to your own show, Devika, on 3rd of December. And we will be having clean sweep in Chhattisgarh with 75 plus seats. I'm claiming, I'm sitting here and claiming, because Chhattisgarh government see through how ED is being misused against their chief minister, who is being fondly called Kaka in Chhattisgarh state. And this is the reality of the present politics.
Okay, all right. Pooja Tripathi, you've made your point. Mukesh Tyagi of the BJP also with us. Mukesh, I'd like you to, of course, present your counter to what the Congress party has said.
The Congress, Devika, is trying to defend indefensibly because it is open and shut case. The corruption charges have gone beyond proportions. Shubham Soni, who has transferred the money through Hawala, through Asim Das, and 508 crore has been given to Baghel government and its associates. So their hands are absolutely thick into the corruption. And it is not only the Mahadev, because you have to go by the corroboratory evidences of the corruption and the history of corruption. You have seen the way corruption has happened in liquor case. The corruption has happened, how the auction was initially online during Raman Singh, which was turned into offline, and 25 rupees on the coal levy was imposed. Their IAS officers are behind bar. The police, it's a syndication of the police, bureaucrats and politicians. It's a complete nexus. And this is like an ATM machine for the Congress to fuel the elections in other states. So it's not something which has happened for the first time. Mahadev roots are originated from Chhattisgarh. This guy has had a juice and suddenly he has become so rich, and Chhattisgarh government has been sleeping. I mean, they might have done few arrests here and there, but the police is complicit, the politicians are complicit. So there is a whole lot of investigation, and ED has not been just investigating, it has been investigating almost 1.5 years back. Now, whatever Chandrasekhar ji said, the minister, that under Section 69 of Information Technology Act, government could have made the recommendation, but they have never made any written recommendation. That is on record. It is only ED's initiative that these recommendations were made and Mahadev app was banned. So Chhattisgarh government has been trying to look very cosmetically engaged in investigating the matter, but behind that, the entire corruption drama was going on in a big way. Money was flowing through Hawala. No wonder many Bollywood artists have been also summoned by ED. And it is something like corollary of an argument that suppose murder is committed today, then you say because the elections are here right now, so don't investigate because elections are going around. I think corruption has happened. Now you keep on coming out with this stereotype of argument that BJP is trying to use ED and CBI, but this is ED and CBI are doing independent investigations. There are courts to scrutinize if these people are going beyond their remit or beyond their prescription. So courts will pass the stricter against ED. So there is a check and balance system in our system now. They keep on blaming all the time. They keep on blaming the constitution for that matter. So they even keep on blaming the judiciary. So these guys have lost complete ground. The reason is Baghel government realized that we need to pump money into our election, otherwise they're going to lose. Prime Minister Modi has made a very categorical statement that I have got experience of 40 years of electioneering, and I can see the direction of the wind is totally in our side, and Mahadev app has completely exposed. It's like a last nail in the coffin. So I think Baghel government has no defense. Otherwise, they could have come out with the counter defense. They have not been able to come out anything. Why? Look at why their IS officer is behind the bar. Why the ASI police inspector is behind bar. So I mean, these guys have to question. In Govan, they have done the corruption. So these guys are known for corruption because there has been a complete, and look at that 2.5, look at the dishonesty, what Prime Minister said in his rally today, that there was a clear-cut equation that after 2.5 years, the Chief Minister will change. But now, Baghel government realized that they don't want to change it. So they went back and they literally bribed the central Congress party to continue that. So this is the kind of character Chhattisgarh, and they are looking to win. I'm very sure they are going to lose in a big way. That's my take.
Okay, I'm going to come back to the BJP and Congress in just a bit, but let me bring in Himanshu Bhatt into the conversation as well. Himanshu Bhatt, I'd just like to understand from your perspective as a political analyst, do you feel that this the Mahadev betting app scam will have any impact on the Chhattisgarh elections whatsoever, and who do you think it'll be in the favor of? Because ultimately, as the investigation is going on right now, there is no proof yet of anything in public per se. But we also know that a lot of politics is basically built on perception. So do you feel that somewhere a perception of corruption has been created against the Congress party?
Yes, that perception, the battle of perception, especially in elections. When you go to urban and semi-urban areas, urban what we call, where the battle of perception is become very, very, very fine, very, very tight, And I foresee an impact. Which way it will come, you cannot say. But 3rd of December, you will know. See, it's very nice to come and make claims, sitting in the studio. That come this and come that. I've gone through all these things, in my career. But what I'm trying to say you is, this battle of perception and what people see with their naked eyes. The truth might be otherwise. I'm not saying anything about the merits or demerits of the case. ED is doing its work. Let them do it. They'll come out with something. But when a general public, a common man like me and you, when we see a load of cash being found from someone, and that also what, 5-7 crores? In cash, in these days, it's a very, very damaging thing. And it will happen. Especially, when we were talking about the first phase of polling, I had said at that time that this Mahadev app would get a storm. And now, Prime Minister comes out with a statement and a scathing attack on the opposition. Do you remember that Chaukidar Chor hai comment? When someone was aspiring to be a Prime Minister, he came out with that statement and had to go and apologize in the Supreme Court. See, this type of statements are generally not uttered by big people. When I say political alcans. If someone talks about something, then you will have to listen. He's asked questions. How many? Who has got? See, there might be some electioneering there. And there will be some electioneering there. I understand that. When elections come, allegations to and fro fly. But then it helps in building the perception. And especially when you are in the opposition, every opposition leader in our country has a habit of throwing allegations. चुनाव हो जाने का बाद में देख लेंगे क्या होता है. See, this is what is happening. And when I say that, when sitting on a prime minister's chair, he may be addressing a public rally for the BJP candidate, all right. But he's a prime minister, you don't forget that. There have been umpteen examples. And here they have a video, they claim to have a video corroboration by the owner of that app. You already have mountain of cash being found, 5-7 crores. What will public believe? And what will be the public perception?
Okay.
A common man will always believe what he sees,
Okay. All right. Advocate Gyanendra Mishra, let me bring into the conversation as well. I'd just like to understand, what do you feel? Will this Mahadev betting app scam actually have any sort of impact on the polls? And do you believe that the public opinion has somewhere been swayed?
No, so I remember, the Prime Minister, while referring to in a I think political rally or the public rally, while referring to this Mahadev app as a scam, has referred that ये public है और ये सब जानती है. So I believe that it is very pertinent in that sense, at least to the extent that ये public है, ये सब जानती है और ये सब देख रही है कि क्या हो रहा है. So therefore, to look at this scam, we have to look at it from the two different perspectives. One perspective that whether a scam has happened or not happened and the extent of the scam and the people involved in it, obviously the investigating agencies are on this job and we expect and hope that they'll do their job and find out the truth behind it in terms of the extent, people involved, etc., etc. But the people are very, now matured. The voters are very matured. And they understand that how all of a sudden such a huge traction on this scam just before few days of the election, and then everybody, including up to Prime Minister, starts referring to it, the various statements, confessions, video recordings of a known and unknown owner, promoters, we don't know who, all and sundry start coming on here and there and start making allegations directly attributable to a particular political party who is in a fierce electoral battle with the BJP out there. So the trend and the patterns are so clear, and I agree that when someone make the statement about Chaukidar Chor hai, it may have boomeranged, but the same applies with an equal force to the ruling dispensation as well. That if without any basis and on the basis of the uncorroborated statements before some, sting operators, someone is telling, I have done this, I have done that, I am the owner, I have given that money to him, someone says I have given 5 crores, someone says I have given 5 crores, etc., etc. The people sitting in the top position should not make such a light, comment, particularly when the matter is under the investigation, because it creates a direct impression on the impartiality of the investigation. And I am raising a very pertinent question that if ED is investigating an offence, just forget about any political party, and the top authority in the country already makes a statement that as far as this scam is concerned, or as far as this money is concerned, this money has gone to this person or this particular political leader, then what would be the impact of such a statement on the investigation being done by an agency? And if something, comes after the investigation which is contrary to the statement being made, will the authorities would apologize for the statement which is seemingly being made just for an political one-upmanship and the electioneering? So So it is very unfortunate, and that has been a tendency. Now, there is another very dangerous tendency and pattern which seems to be coming out, that in all important matters where the political leaders are involved, today these are the opposition leaders, tomorrow some may other be the opposition leaders, where the allegations are being basically framed on the basis of, the approver. That means the accused, the prime accused themselves are making a statement, oh, I gave such and such money to such and such person. And then immediately that person is arrested and investigation is launched, etc., etc., which is the process of law. So you cannot basically question that why immediately basis in a statement of the approver, another person is arrested and put behind bar, etc., etc., because this is the process of law under the court monitoring. So obviously, it should not be debated that whether it's right or wrong. But there seems to be a very clear pattern. Everywhere you see, in the excise policy case, you see.
Okay. All right. We've heard Himanshu Bhatt and Gyanendra Mishra. Pooja Tripathi, I'm going to bring in the Congress and BJP back into the conversation. What do you feel after what you've heard of political analysts have had to say? That on the one hand, yes, public perception does matter. Is the Congress somewhere worried that just a few days before the polls, this perception is being created at the moment? Because like I said, the investigations are going on. So there's no really concrete proof right now before the public to really analyze and judge for themselves. All we know are these narratives that are being built by the BJP and the Congress.
I agree what Mr. Gyanendra Mishra ji said here, that taking the political notes from what ED is an investigative agency, Devika, we have to remember. And when ED comes out with a press note against the sitting CM of a state, against a constitutional chief of a state, saying that subject to jurisdiction based on a video, that video was released by Bharatiya Janata Party, I think ED should pretend to be impartial. I'm saying this. If you link that the video comes out from a BJP handle, they are saying subject to jurisdiction. This man overturns from his own statement that was mentioned in the ED's press note. This has been, I was just referring to a Raipur police saying that they made a correspondence with Google in 2022 and they made so many arrests in 32 cities of the state. So that just debunks what Mr. Tyagi has been saying, that government did not place a request. Why was government waiting a request to be placed? You're a criminal of an economic offense. Why was government worth of thousands of crores? Why was government waiting for a state government's application to ban it? From 2022, this has been revealed, and now in 2023, just 2 days before elections, this has been done. I think elections are a very level playing field, and this responsibility stands on the shoulders of Election Commission. Election Commission should also take note. Election Commission should, take note of the fact that just 2, 4, 5 days before Chhattisgarh goes into the first phase of elections, ED comes out with some incriminating evidence subject to jurisdiction, asterisk and double asterisk. And BJP does a video release, BJP does a press note, and then there's some random person coming on screen and saying, "Maine Bhupesh Baghel ko paisa diya." You should summon Bhupesh Baghel ji. You should arrest him if he has been involved. Just making a note subject to jurisdiction. Again, I'm saying just making a note and making some grave corruption charges on sitting CM is not what we expect from a central investigating agencies. But what we have seen in last year, 96% of cases have been against the opposition leaders. ED has just been reduced to a political tool. They have lost the credibility. They have lost their face. And it's just a level playing field used by the central government, be it ED, be it CBI, be it IT. So I don't think this will have any impact on Chhattisgarh. It will have an impact. I'll rephrase my elections. Bhupesh Baghel ji will return with a bigger majority, with a resounding majority, and we will be forming government in Chhattisgarh, because the Janta, because the armed people, they are seeing through how ED is being misused and how their chief minister is being implicated in a case that stands no ground. And I think that would be the impact of Mahadev betting app on the Chhattisgarh elections.
Okay, I'm going to leave the last word with Mukesh Tyagi. Mukesh Tyagi, how do you respond then to the Congress?
As I said, Devika, the proof of pudding lies in its eating. So I think look at the history of the corruption. I'm just talking about one example. In the matter of DMF, District Medical Foundation, Mohan Makkar, MLA from Congress, himself blamed Baghel government of corruption. I mean, so this is the kind of history they have. Their own party is blaming Baghel into corruption. Now they are talking about why not this central government has taken its own cognizance. I mean, the state government has got nothing to do. Under its nose, Baghel's nose, the corruption is flourishing. You know, there are 90,000 members of this Mahadev app, and most of them, bulk of them come from the Chhattisgarh, and they were looting money from the poor people. They were giving 2,000-3,000 rupees as a bonus to get them into the net, and these people ran away to Dubai, and there has been evidence, clinching evidence with the ED, that there has been a connection between the Baghel government and these Hawala operators. Kind of money, 5,000 crores they have made, and Chhattisgarh government is just looking at the bureaucratic, technical, procedural lapses. I mean, I think it's a shame on Baghel government, because they need to fuel their election. They understand they're losing the ground. There is a position within the cadre. So they have to somehow make up this election victory by pumping more money into the process. And without money, they can't run the election. So today, Prime Minister Modi is exposed very categorically. I think Baghel government stands completely exposed, naked in front of the people. It's a 30 taka sarkar, which is making ATM machine for the Central Congress Committee. And I think Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, they are all aware about this collusion. There was an IPS officer, Radhika, who was caught on the sting operation, how he was saying that police is involved, the politicians are involved. So he cannot, an IPS officer will not have the audacity to make such a statement till he is very, very clear about what is going on. So if Baghel government wants to wash off its dirty linen, I don't think they have any chance left anymore. It has reached to the level of conclusion, and public in Chhattisgarh is completely aware Baghel government is completely corrupt government, whether it's a gobar, whether it's a coal, whether it's a liquor, whether it's a DMF. So these all schemes, I'm asking you, who is Vinod Verma? Who is Chandra Bhushan? Why they are in jail? What is the reason? Even Vinod Verma, who was the OSD, his son and his wife, they have opened up a shell company and they are taking the money out of it. So you think Mr. Baghel was completely oblivious to all these things happening? Air ambulance.
Yeah.
They have
Okay.
used air ambulance to transport the money.
Right
They have used that position also.
Elections, and he is managing the war room. Mr. Vinod Verma is not in jail. Please correct your facts.
No, Vinod Verma, but Chandra Bhushan is in
Okay.
jail.
Okay, all right. I've run out of time, but I feel we've given fair amount of time to both the BJP and the Congress to put their point across at this crucial juncture before the Chhattisgarh elections.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.